Hard to believe, but it was 10 years ago that the amazing ice caves formed along the Lake Erie shoreline, drawing worldwide attention and visitors by droves. Fort Erie Mayor Wayne Redekop joins us. Wayne, I remember walking along the caves with my wife and kids, and I know exactly which day it was because it was Family Day that year, and there were so many people walking along the shoreline. Was that a danger?
Well, it wasn't at that point, but you were there along with 50,000 other people that showed up that day. And then I believe the weekend before, there were about 30,000 people. So it was quite stable up until shortly after Family Day. And then the weather started to become mild and cracks started to develop. And so it became a bit dangerous then.
Scientifically speaking, and we know you're a lawyer and a mayor, not a scientist, but what were the factors that led to those formations? What were you told about that?
So you have to have very cold weather. You have to have a large body of water, which the lake is, and then you have to have sustained winds for a period of time, which we did. I think there were 3 days at the beginning of this where there were very strong winds coming off the lake. And if you have a little bit of snow, that helps as well. So the winds push whatever ice has been accumulated on the lake into the shore because we get prevailing southwest winds from the southwest. They pushed the ice onto the shore, and then as the winds kept blowing and the ice kept forming, more and more ice kept getting pushed onto the shoreline, and it just accumulated in some places more than 12 feet high. So it's a natural phenomenon that occurs periodically. It has happened, but nothing as we're aware to that extent in living memory here in Fort Erie.
Some of those caves were as deep as 10 meters.
That's right, 30 feet deep. We heard 12 feet wide. Some of them the one was 6 feet high. So if you were under 6 feet, you could actually walk into the cave and wander around. And we've all seen, I think, videos and certainly a lot of photographs of the various caves, some of the bridges that were created. It's pretty magnificent. Beginning of February, end of January, beginning of February, there was a small trickle, then a growing trickle, and then larger numbers until by the middle of February, as I said, there were tens of thousands of people coming to that area. And the roads down by Crystal Beach aren't all that large. There's only one real way to get in and out of Crystal Beach from the QEW, and so that road became extremely busy. And I think comparisons were being made by people who live in the area, some historians who live in the area, to the way it was when the Crystal Beach Amusement Park was open. So there's an interesting two photographs that show the traffic on Ridgeway Road heading into Crystal Beach in 1973 and the traffic heading into Crystal Beach in February 2014. It's quite remarkable, but for those people who grew up in the area, they can remember the Crystal Beach Amusement Park days and the traffic and the challenges then.
Do you remember what was behind the decision to finally call in the fire department to break that all up?
So the weather started to ameliorate, and as the temperatures warmed, there were cracks that started to develop. And also there were a number of people that were starting to get injured. A woman fractured her hip, a fellow suffered a concussion and falls. So the more people that were there, the more people were doing things that you really shouldn't be doing. And so that, coupled with the widening cracks in the ice, indicated that it was dangerous. The temperatures were going to continue to warm up. And so the decision was made to knock them down
It's been overwhelming.
Around February the 19th, 20th, or thereabouts.
Did a large crowd gather to watch that process happen?
I don't believe there was a large crowd. There definitely were people there to watch it. Didn't take long. We get the backhoe out there and pound away at the ice, and it took about an hour, as I understand it, to make it, safer for at least people to wander around. But the caves were gone.
You compare that ice phenomenon to last year's, which was much more, I guess, much more damaging on a personal level for a lot of people who lived along the Lake Erie shoreline when they couldn't even leave their homes and had no power for a long time.
Right, and you recall that there were the magnificent pictures of the ice that had accumulated on the houses on the site of where the amusement park used to be, the Crystal Beach Tennis and Yacht Club. There were fantastic photographs of ice enshrouding these houses. So that was last year, and there were challenges. We regularly have storms here. So to get a situation where snow and ice create problems for the people that live here, not particularly unusual. You may recall that a few years ago there was a large mound of ice near the Peace Bridge, and people were coming to take photographs of that. And so this happens on a regular basis. It's something that we're used to because, as I said, we get the strong sustained winds. We live near a large body of water, and if it gets cold, we can expect this.
But of course, this year, none of that because of this warmer winter that we've had.
We live near a large body of water, but we didn't get the sustained winds or the really cold weather. So yeah, it was completely unusual. And as you know, right now we're heading into some very warm weather. It looks like March is going to come in like a lamb. Let's hope that it stays like a lamb.
Wayne, thanks for reminiscing with us about that phenomenon from 10 years ago, 2014. Thanks for your time today.
You're more than welcome, Mike. Appreciate it.